this year, and I don't understand why, because they've not been good under Mike Malone, but maybe this is the year that the defense started clicking for them. But they're,
their defense is still really good.
I think the stats here, they're like second in defensive rating, behind, basically tied with Boston.
Teams are just really tired when they play Denver.
I don't get that. So,
like that used to be the thing that you think, oh, Mile High, they would, but statistically they haven't been winning at home more than other teams. But no, this year they're shutting them down. This year also weirdly they're better when Jokic isn't playing.
Yeah,
despite Jokic still being like really high in all the box plus minus and things.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the addition of old prospector Monty Morris.
Monty Morris is playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I guess. I mean, he's like a guy I didn't know who he was really, and now he's like, oh, he's a totally capable backup. Are they going to be any better? Like, does Will Barton help them when Will Barton comes back?
That's a good question.
I guess they need some. Their offense hasn't been super awesome, but they've been hitting threes recently. Nuggets, their losing streak over, winning again.
Yeah.
Another weird on-off kind of numbers. So like some of the best Nuggets lineups don't have Jokic in them. It goes to my apology. This is someone I don't like talking about, but just as a basketball player, Derrick Rose is saving the Timberwolves.
I know.
I mean, the Timberwolves are awesome post Jimmy Butler trade.
Yeah,
but their best lineups are with like. I mean, with Derrick Rose, him being on the court, I think their net rating is plus 12. He's averaging almost 20 points per game. He's shooting over 45% on three-pointers.
Keith should apologize to me because his Derrick Rose slander has kept Derrick Rose on my bench all season in fantasy. I just can't pull the trigger.
No, he's
I mean, if he's on your team and you're not playing him, that's just idiotic. I'm not sure you know how fantasy works.
It's one of these leagues.
John.
No, it's one of these leagues where you set your lineup for a week.
Oh, okay.
A week.
That's trash.
That's pretty.
Although
wild.
I do like that from a time perspective.
Oh, very
You lazy slob.
Yeah.
I want to fiddle with it all day long as I micturate and give it to me.
I set my iShop fantasy league roster once.
Oh,
so here's how
iShop Negative Fantasy over hosted by Fantrax.com. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Fantrax.
But,
this league will drive you crazy because you have like guards and forward slots. So I've got I have all these guards that are excellent, like Russell. It's just like it's like a reverse of the All-Star team because I can't start Russell Westbrook one week. I can't start Derrick Rose, but you know who's starting every week? Garrett Temple.
I will say what's also really fun about our Negative Fantasy League that we're playing with our Patreon supporters, like you can't really fiddle with it every day because there's no good players available in a 34-team league. Like playing a league with 34 people is hilariously fun.
Yeah.
And you're looking for someone's got to be getting playing time who'll put up some negative stats. Nope.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, should I pick Chris Middleton? I think he has a bad matchup.
Right,
tomorrow.
right. No, you're playing the matchups where you're like, I bet this guy can get in foul trouble this game. And some of those sweet fouls. But anyway, Derrick Rose averaging 19 points per game on great shooting numbers. He's up to, I think, 32nd in offensive box plus minus. He's still a huge negative on defense, but he's making this team work really well. I thought he was just a negative player, would always be a super negative player.
No, he looks good. Yeah, that's it. We won't talk about anything else about Derrick Rose.
John, you got anything you're sorry for?
I like to apologize to Derrick Rose because so I guess I will apologize. I'm still of two minds about that, but I'm interested for Keith to talk me out of this. So I'll apologize for being so down on the Grizzlies.
Okay, you mean preseason or midseason or what?
Preseason, I was actually kind of high on them.
See, I lost all my optimism during the preseason.
Yeah, I didn't. I lost mine after one game because I'm I'm a real sports pundit.
Right.
And the Pacers game broke my spirit.
It showed me everything I was worried about, and so I excused myself a little bit.
So I guess I owe them an apology for continuing to think that they are not good.
Yeah.
I still can't talk myself into this.
So this is really interesting. They are right now 12-8. Wait, yeah. And they keep a team that wins 12 games in their first 20. If you
are they the Magic from last year, or are they real?
92% of those teams have made the playoffs in the last 15 seasons.
Yeah.
538 gives the Grizzlies a 35% chance of making the playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. They're not getting blown out outside of that first game, so I feel like they're pretty good. They're in all their games. They're winning on most of their losses.
There's at least one moment in every Grizz game where Mark starts limping, and I'm just like, well, the whole season's lost.
So, I mean, are you asking, do I think they're going to make the playoffs?
I still don't think so.
I don't. I guess I'm too cynical but
Well, there you have it, folks. I rescind my apology. Another week without an apology from me.
No, you're
Welcome to my girlfriend's life.
I will say it's great. Over the last 8 games, Marc Gasol is averaging 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3.5 assists.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol is the best center in the NBA if you ignore the Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis's existence.
Right. I think that's honestly.
I just wanted to start it out like Colin Coward.
Blink real quick,
and then slip in the
can't see
reality.
them.
Here's a possible hot take. I mean, Marc Gasol ate Joel Embiid's lunch.
Oh no,
when they
Marc
played.
Gasol's eating everyone's
He is.
lunch.
Yeah, he is destroying people.
Yeah.
So like Joel Embiid, yes, scores a lot more and puts up bigger stats, but
He also
maybe
plays
Marc
1
Gasol-
billion minutes.
Yeah, maybe Marc Gasol, who's also playing a billion minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's better. There's an argument out there. I'm not going to make it.
Where can I bet on Joel Embiid and Marc Gasol not finishing the season at this rate with the minutes they're playing?
I don't know. Probably a games play. One of your bookies extend you a games play.
Pickle. Pickle ain't taking my bets right now.
But I think at the beginning of the year, if you told me that Mark and Mike were playing and healthy, they had decent production from the bench, and Jaren Jackson Jr. was playing the way he is, shooting the ball and blocking every shot, I would be like, yeah, they're probably going to be a 5 or 6 seed in the West.
Right.
Because the talent's there. It's always been about,
They've played 20 games, and they have 100% health from Mike and
Right.
Mark. So, yeah, 12 and 8
But
feels about.
and this roster is probably like the best as far as like talent for the system roster that you guys had in a while. Because you got
Don't tell that to Andrew Harrison Stan, Keith over here.
Sorry, Keith.
Well, no, I do think.
I mean, it's like Garrett Temple's decent.
My biggest frustration with just the Grizzlies front office today, which, I've had many frustrations, but just
a couple.
Disgruntled season ticket holder Andrew Harrison Stan, Keith.
They built this roster this year with like, hey, let's just get some good players. Let's fill out the roster with good players. Why wouldn't you do that every
Why
year?
didn't they do that every
What
year?
is wrong with you? Why would you they're all like, oh, well, second round picks are like lottery tickets. You get like 5 or 6, hope they all pan out. Who's panned out?
None.
None of them are playing.
Our first round picks don't pan out except for Jaren Jackson.
Like Dylan Brooks kind of panned out. He's hurt. I forgot he was a Grizzly, honestly.
Wade Baldwin.
Do you know I use Dylan Brooks as a barometer if you are a real fan? Like Ryan Russillo was on Bill Simmons, and he was mentioning Grizzlies players. He, of course, did Conley and Gasol, and he's like, and I love Dylan Brooks. He's like, you are full of it, Pub.
Yeah.
You don't watch a second of the Grizzlies. You're lying.
Although, honestly, when I got like that, the Grizzlies injury PR email that was like, Dylan Brooks and Chandler Parsons will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. I was like, I forgot we had Dylan.
Yeah.
Like he hadn't played so long. He will actually help. They actually kind of need him. But
now the Grizzlies play at like a molasses pace.
Love it.
Down in the mud.
And that helps in the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to help for the entirety of the season, if that's going to work.
They can
for
just
them.
make the playoffs.
Yeah. And then
and then get the Blazers as the 2 seed. If the Blazers can make the 2 seed and the Grizzlies be the 7 seed, I think that'll work out.
Yeah. And you
if
get like
they make the playoffs, I will be incorrigible.
We are taking a trip to Memphis.
I'll go to every game.
We're going to we're going.
I'll go to
Memphis.
the away games. Who will they play? They'll be the 8th seed.
There's no
We're going
to Golden State.
Going to Golden State.
Like who is? I mean, that's just a fun question on its own.
Yeah. Who's going to be number 1?
Who's going to be the 2 seed in the West?
Yeah. In my heart, I'm thinking when Chris Paul comes back, they're going to Rockets are going to go on a run.
The Rockets are in 14th.
This is why I think it's weird, but I trust that team. Yeah. I just think it's a good team that's
Rockets
having.
are. I think they're 8-4 when Chris Paul plays.
Yes.
And again, we're really lost in our apologies right now. But that goes back also to
of which I've made none.
James Harden was the MVP last year. Why? Because he put up awesome stats once they got Chris Paul, and
Marc Gasol was injured.
Because they became really, really good when they got Chris Paul.
Right.
Like is he still the MVP?
Yeah,
when Chris Paul plays,
can we reevaluate? Can we please go back to the old sports writers days where we just make up stories for why players are MVPs?
Mm-hmm.
Let's throw the stats away.
Yeah.
Added Chris Paul. They're suddenly great.
He learned how to be a winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it seems to work better, honestly.
Those were our breakfast in bed apologies. Before we get to our steak and eggs best thing, we have a few listener submitted questions. The croissant questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that croissant.
feeling Minnesota. This question is a few days old, but
It's going to get dark.
we can get the gist of this. It actually isn't about the Timberwolves. What? If you extrapolate the current state of the Celtics to the full 82-game regular season, meaning they finish a disappointing 500 and get ousted in the first round of the playoffs, we'll change that to say they win like 44 games, 44 and 38. What is your 2019 offseason approach if you are Danny Ainge when it comes to things like re-signing Kyrie, youth movement versus pushing chips in for another star, et cetera, et cetera? So the Celtics are disappointing right now. They're bad on offense, and they're not really winning games. If this plays out the whole year and they don't get much better and they kind of flame out in the playoffs, what would be your plan if you were Danny Ainge going forward?
I feel like this is predicated on something that's so not going to happen that I'm having a hard time.
You think the Celtics are going to?
I think
are going
they're
to get to 50 wins or something?
Yeah, I think the Celtics.
Nah, I think 50. Yeah,
50's a long way away.
Yeah.
I mean, they could obviously go on a run.
I do think they're going to course correct during the season. They have some chemistry issues and trying to integrate Hayward into the lineup, and
They'll just put the great Satan Marcus Smart back in the lineup and start winning, and I'll walk into the sea.
So yeah, Brad Stevens, genius boy coach Brad Stevens, who nobody.
Brad Stevens, he might be getting a little sativa on there.
Yeah, he's smoking some Doge, but the genius of him has yet to show this year offensively when they have all, pretty much an arsenal of weapons. They're defensively, is still one of the top teams in the league, but I don't think they're going to be have a hard time getting Kyrie and Gordo to play together and be productive down the road.
One of the big issues, obviously, Gordon Hayward, who is, I think Tom Abisher pointed out, is now Evan Turner. He's the exact same Evan Turner.
Right.
Statistics.
He looks very bad.
I mean, there's a Chandler Parsons.
Although Evan Turner is having like a better year for him lately.
Yeah, Evan Turner's not bad.
Well, so the whole Celtics struggling has really shook up the opinion because, I mean, everyone,
I had him to win 60 games.
The Brad Stevens, everyone did.
Yeah.
Everyone had him. I mean, I took the under.
Keith. I know you did, Keith.
But
it was a huge over.
Yeah, it was like 59 or something.
60.
But everyone thought this team was going to be great. I thought this team was going to be probably the 1 seed in the East. We thought Brad Stevens is this genius. We thought all these great players would mesh together. They haven't. The only thing they really have is an abundance of really terrible shooters.
Yeah, no one can shoot.
Right.
Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Gordon Hayward have been abysmal.
Yeah.
And actually reminds me, what's that song?
Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. It's Hodor, not Hodor.
Game of Scones. I just listed 4 players on the Celtics who are shooting under 40%, except for Hayward. Big news. Just hit exactly 40% from the field.
Is that the number now that you're a good shooter if you shoot 40%?
There are very few excuses that you should shoot under 40%.
From 3. Oh, from the field?
Period.
Or from 3?
From the field.
I'm talking from the field.
Yeah. Okay, so field goal percentage.
I can't come up. I'm having trouble coming up with examples. You're like Marcus Smart the last couple of years. He shoots 36%, but that's cool.
Right.
Maybe we need that because he does so many
other things.
Right.
Anyway, there aren't very many players in the NBA shooting under 40% from the field.
Okay.
So, the game of scones is what NBA players shoot worse than these Boston Celtics? This is 4 Celtics. Oh, and like John, I wanted to name this. I'm calling it Bayer Celtics.
Oh.
It's all Celtics?
No. These 4 Celtics are all bad.
Okay.
I'm asking you,
who else is on the list of bad shooters?
who are the other NBA players who are shooting worse than Gordon Hayward, who is the best field goal percentage shooter of these 4? Mm-hmm. So these are all the NBA players shooting under 40%, who have attempted at least 150 shots.
Wow.
We've learned that the NBA field goal percentage leaderboard is based on makes per game, which makes no sense.
Right, not attempts.
So I just went through kind of arbitrarily. Gordon Hayward's taken 170 shots this season. What NBA players are shooting under 40% on at least 150 attempts so far this year? John Burr.
I'll go with Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley is correct.
Okay, he's really bad at shooting.
Terribly bad at shooting. Great at the iShop Negative Fantasy League.
Gimme Markel Fultz.
Markel Fultz.
Has he
144
shots?
Markel Fultz has a better field goal percentage than all 4 of these people.
Well,
and Markel Fultz people have are freaking out.
Yeah.
He's been shut down and he's quit on the Sixers.
Yeah, and they're gonna trade him for no one. This is what I don't get.
Terry Rozier would kill